This is Glow in the Dark Radio. The science fiction podcast with original independent science fiction written and performed by Mike Luoma, with music by Kevin MacLeod. The Vatican Assassin Trilogy and The Adventures of Alibi Jones by Mike Luoma are available in ebook, trade paperback, and audiobook wherever you find your books online. Get links and details at glowinthedarkradio.com. This is the Science Fiction Podcast, Glow in the Dark Radio. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma, and I have Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest coming up on this episode. We've got Alibi Jones and his crew undercover. They are acting as traders, free traders out there on the fringe of the Solar Alliance, pretending to buy and sell gray market goods to try to get into that economy out there. The fringe economy, one that exists just outside of the Solar Alliance. And they've just met with crime lord Tony Yang on his planet, Argentium, and they've arranged to sell him some possibly stolen lobster meat. We're going to see how the delivery goes in Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest coming up on Glow in the Dark Radio. In book news, I do have some good news. The paperback of the book you are listening to, Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest, has been restored at Amazon. For some odd reason, Lulu messed up the distribution. And I got back to him, and today I was like, hey, you guys said you were going to fix this. I haven't seen anything. And they were like, it's on Amazon. I was like, what? So I had to say, yeah, okay, I see it there now. That must be new. Thank you. Still not showing up on other, usual paperback sites, but hopefully now that it's at Amazon, it'll start to repopulate around the web, But yeah, that was kind of not fun. Nothing changed with the book. Nothing. They just, I don't know, they messed up. I mean, the price had to change. That's what changed, is that they messed with the pricing. Speaking of messing with the pricing, I don't know what it is, but I went to Amazon and they have the short story book for the Devrisium at $29.99. That's $20 more than it should be. Don't buy it there. just know that. I don't know what's going on. But at this point, I'm not in the mood to mess around with Lulu right now because I've been trying to get them to straighten out this Hornet's Nest thing. It seems like it's getting there, and hopefully the rest of things will fall in line. But at least it's back at Amazon, I guess. I don't do my printing usually through Amazon itself. You can. They do provide that. But I want to, make it available in a lot of places, and I don't like being beholden to Amazon. I'm, old-fashioned that way, I guess. Once again, a thank you to patrons who are hopefully getting this early. That's my plan. I'm recording it a little early so I can get it to patrons ahead of time. I've been working on something, but I don't want to talk about it because every time I talk about something, I kind of jinx myself. But if you're a patron, you'll get whatever something I'm working on first. Just know that. And I do try to, while I'm in the midst of, putting things together or not, I do try to get you episodes ahead of time so you're at least ahead of the game on that. And I appreciate the support that you give me for this podcast. So thank you again for that. Not as many as there used to be. Not as much coming in, but still enough to, help offset the costs enough to help me keep it going. So thank you. And if you want to become a patron and help support the podcast, I would love to have you. You can always use your help. You can do it for $2, $5, or $10 a month. And I use Patreon for that, Patreon, patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio. Head over there if you want to learn more, or if you want to sign up and help keep the show going by donating each month. I'm not going to charge for the show, and I'm not going to run commercials to pay for it. Although I can now, they tell me. I just run a promo for friends shows, different friends shows, like the one you're about to hear, and then we'll get into Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest, next on Glow in the Dark Radio.
Hi, I'm Nuke Chas, the host of Nutty Bites.
And hi, I'm Tech, Nutty's regular guest.
Or antagonist. Our podcast is like a call-in show where geeks get to debate topics about speculative fiction.
We don't really debate.
Sure we do. We debate topics such as lame superpowers, the best villains, and our favorite apocalypses.
We more like rant, rave, and then have massive nerd rages.
People call in from all over the world, sometimes minor celebrities, and we've even had some supervillains show up.
Do you ever notice that you never have any superheroes or good guys?
I'm a good guy.
Compared to what?
Antagonist, not really a guest. Nutty Bites, nimlast.org.
Now here's Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest on Glow in the Dark Radio. Emily led them in silence, out of the manor, across the courtyard, and out the gate to the main boulevard. Chagrined, Alibi held his tongue. As they walked down the boulevard, Emily finally turned to speak to Alibi. "I know this is our first mission, but you're pretty awful at this," she said. "Thanks," he said. "But I'm not supposed to be good. I'm the disgraced rich kid adopted son of a former ruler of the Solar Alliance out here way over his head. Just playing my part." "Wow," she said, heavy on the sarcasm. "You're really good at it." A little stung, Alibi didn't answer. After a few more minutes of walking in silence, Varigar spoke up. "That was, on the whole, a rather positive exchange with Mr. Yang," the Dacour said to Alibi. "I thought you should be aware." "Thank you, Varigar," Alibi said, feeling a little smug. "Not at all smooth, but ultimately positive," Varigar added. Alibi frowned. Emily grinned. "I'll take it," Alibi said. "We did not see that power—" Cat started to speak, but Alibi raised a hand to stop him. "We'll talk about other things back on the ship," Alibi said. "Ah," Cat said. "Of course, right." Varigar took up the lead as they approached the Dacour embassy. He led them back into the building and the main hall, stopping to gather them in a group. "You know your way around now, no?" Varigar asked. Cat, Alibi, and Emily nodded. "Very good, then," Varigar said. "I will leave you. If you have any further need of my assistance, please have Catrafundler get in touch. Please enjoy everything the embassy has to offer. As you can see, we welcome humans here, the same as Dacour." Varigar nodded a slight bow and walked away, leaving them in the middle of the hall. "Let's go back to the ship," Alibi said, "so we can figure out our, delivery schedule." He smiled. Emily looked around the hall. "There really are more humans here than I would have thought," she said. Someone, caught her attention, and her eyes grew wide. "Oh no! Emily!" A man called out after her from across the hall. He loped over, his 6 feet capped off by a short afro of curly dark hair. His over-accessorized flight suit marked him as an adventure tourist, exploring the universe because he had the cash to do it on vacation. "Fancy meeting you here," he said. Emily looked strange. Her eyes didn't seem focused on anything. When she finally spoke, her voice was oddly calm and monotone. "Ronnie," she said. "I know what you said about needing to get away," Ronnie said. "Thought it was a good idea, so I did. Didn't know I'd bump into you out here." "Ronnie, I'm working. I told you I was shipping out past Depot. I'm on a crew now. This is my captain, Alibi Jones." "Hi, Alibi," he said, reaching out to shake Alibi's hand. "Ronnie Trousers, nice to meet you." "This is Catrafundler, Emily said. Cat eyed the man warily. Ronnie went to shake Cat's paw, but Cat pulled away, growling. Okay then, Ronnie said, dropping his hand. Sorry, forgot you d'accord don't. He turned back to Emily. How about this, though? Huh, Emily? Talk about fate. You knew I was going to be out this way, Ronnie, she said. You should go home. Ronnie frowned. Didn't know you'd be here, he insisted. Just opened myself up to fate. Maybe we're meant to be together, Emily. It's kismet. I can't believe you just said that, she said. Did you just say what I think you did? Alibi asked him. What? Trousers said innocently. Alibi got angry. This guy was a jerk. Look, Alibi said, pointing his finger at Trousers' chest. You're not fooling anyone, but you clearly have no concept of personal boundaries, or you wouldn't be here saying these things while we're working. He started. Ronnie, go home, Emily said. She glared at him. His features melted in defeat into a frown. He turned and walked away from them, across the hall towards a commercial lounge. Emily turned to Alibi. I'm so sorry, she exclaimed, blushing, flushed and embarrassed. For what? Alibi said. Not your fault a crazy ex shows up. We just broke up recently, she said. Well, I did. Broke it off, I mean. He was kind of smothering. When he wasn't out gambling, and he partied too much sometimes. Could be kind of obsessive. Really? Alibi couldn't help the sarcasm. Emily grinned anyway. Like you don't have some bad exes, she said. It was Alibi's turn to grin. Seems like that's the only kind of exes I have. I didn't know he was going to be one, she said. A bad ex, I mean. Can't always tell ahead of time, Alibi said. Actually, my exes aren't really bad, you know. Cat kept observing them, listening to the conversation. Nothing to add, Cat, Emily prodded him. No, he said. I do not understand human relationships. Yeah, neither do we, Alibi said. Emily frowned. Cat was puzzled. Can we go back to the ship now, please? Emily asked. Alibi and Cat nodded. The three of them made their way out of the embassy building. It was a short yet awkward and uncomfortable trip back to their ship's landing bay. They weren't on the ship long before Emily took the call from the manor. Yep, we'll be there soon, thank you, she said, ending the call. They want the lobster delivered tonight. Great, Alibi said. Hope we can get a look behind the scenes. We'll see, she said. They're careful. They only want 2 of us. They set a limit. Sorry, Cat, she said to the doctor. They asked for Alibi, the captain, and me. We're to bring it to the delivery gate in the back of the manor grounds. We'll get paid on delivery. I will stay here on the ship, Cat said. I do not need to go back up there. Could you get in touch with Varigar again, Cat? Emily asked. We could float the crates up to the manor, but it would be better if we could use a ground transport. Can you see if Varigar will loan us one? Cat made the call. Alibi and Emily were soon on their way back to the manor in a borrowed transport, the lobster in the back as Emily drove. Upon arriving, they queued up with a handful of other transports waiting at the back gate. So, Alibi said, trying to make small talk, you and Ronnie together long? What? No, why? She turned and glared at Alibi. Why are you asking? Sorry, Alibi said. Just talking. I'm sorry, she apologized. It's just, I came out here to forget Ronnie, among other things. That's why I took the Covert-Ops assignment when it was offered. Seemed like a good chance to get away for a while. Yeah, Alibi said. I think this is pretty much where they mean when they say away back home. And I certainly needed to get away. She laughed. Ronnie's nothing, she said. Sorry, not nothing. Nobody is nothing, you know. Sure. He was the first one in a while, that's all, she said. Oh, good. The transports ahead moved closer to the gate after the first in line moved through. Emily glided theirs up a length in line. Now I'm thinking about exes, Alibi said. Recently got one of my exes away from a crime lord who'd kidnapped her, but helped blow up a planet in the process. Kinda heard about the planet, Emily said. So there was an ex involved? Yeah, wouldn't you know? She smiled a small smile. Alibi grinned, continued. And another ex? brought a Devrisium time device to me, and that might have started the whole time war. Wow. So they're not bad exes, but sometimes bad things happen kind of because of them. She'd stopped listening. Her attention went back to driving the transport, moving them up still closer to the gate. But once they moved up, second now from the gate, she turned back to him, more serious. I almost didn't join you out here, away from it all, Emily said. Wasn't sure I wanted to be in the Covert-Ops, really. No? No. My real ex? The one, you know. He was in Covert-Ops a long time ago. My Mac. Was? He died. On a mission. Torn apart, she said. But she stopped. It wasn't public. None of his family were supposed to know. But I was safe, so I found out. They'd only been able to recover half of his body. Family? Alibi asked. We were engaged, she said. Oh, sorry, Alibi said. Thanks. Alibi felt awkward. I'm sorry, he said. I was just trying to make small talk, and instead this got kind of dark and heavy. She didn't answer. The transport ahead of them had moved through the gate, and she had to drive. They pulled up next to the gate sentinel. Emily opened her side window. Hi, she said. I'm Emily from the A.D. Foster. We have a delivery. Lobster for Mr. Yang. Alibi couldn't hear the response, but Emily closed her window and began inching the transport forward through the open gate. She squinted at the window in front of her. Ah, there it is, Emily said, straightening up. Heads-up display directions. She steered the transport where instructed, to a kitchen loading dock, and backed into the open spot. The large loading area could accommodate 3 transports at a time. 2 others were unloading next to them. They didn't have a lot of cargo, just 6 crates of prime earth lobster. Alibi looked around casually as they maneuvered their small refrigerated shipping crates out of the transport and up onto the dock, trying to take in their surroundings without looking obvious. Emily Foster? A heavy-set man in a white jumpsuit splotched with an assortment of different colored stains across its front approached them. I'm Emily Brown, from the Foster, she said, correcting him but extending her hand. The man looked at it, looked back at her. Cook, he said. He turned away and began to walk. Follow, he yelled back at them. Emily dropped her hand. She and Alibi, each guiding a crate, began to follow Cook down the length of the dock. Cook led them into a long corridor. They passed numbered doors on the sides as he guided them down the hall and around a right-hand corner. He stopped at the first door on the left, marked 15, opened it, and peered inside. No, he said, mostly to himself. He closed the door, then turned and trudged further down the hall. For some reason, they bypassed 16, and Cook opened next 17. He again peered inside. Yep, he said. He turned back to them. In here. Freezer 17. Your 6 crates. Gotcha, Alibi said. We'll deliver them here, Cook, Emily said, as soon as we're paid. Wand, Cook said, extending a very large hand towards her. Keep it off. Alibi went to get his wand out, and Cook jumped. Fastest they'd seen him move. He's the captain, Emily said. He gets paid. Oh, Cook said. He turned to Alibi, hand again extended. Okay? Alibi asked as he finished pulling his wand from its pocket. Cook grunted. The big man scowled and grabbed the device from Alibi. He turned it on, looked at the screen, and gave it back to Alibi. Bank! Cook commanded. Alibi set the screen on his bank and handed the wand back to Cook to make the funds transfer. Cook put it through and then turned the wand screen to face Alibi and Emily so they could see payment was made. Emily nodded. He turned off the wand and handed it back to Alibi. 6 crates and freezer 17. Paid. Alibi tucked away the darkened wand so he could move the crate into the freezer. He pushed his crate towards the back and then helped Emily maneuver hers into place next to it. Under Cook's watchful gaze, they made 2 more trips, depositing the other 4 crates next to the first 2. Cook shut the freezer up behind them as they finished, and then led them back to their transport one final time. Good business, Cook said as they reached the transport. Sure, Alibi said. Thanks, Emily said. He nodded, turned, and strolled away. Alibi shrugged. He and Emily got back in the transport. They drove back the way they'd come in, toward the gate. More transports were lined up outside, waiting to come in. The exit gate opened as they approached. Two of Yang's security guards in their blue and purple uniforms stepped out in front of their transport with blasters out. Stop! Shit, Emily said. She shifted and the transport lurched to a quick stop. Alibi's hand went to his wand. He couldn't help himself. His wand was augmented by the project and could do many things the standard wand couldn't. Like take a deep and subtle quick locational scan for potent energy sources in the area when it was activated for a bank transfer, for example. Hold it right there, the guard on the right yelled. That was Chapter 8 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest, part of the Adventures of Alibi Jones Chronological Omnibus that we are featuring in its entirety on Glow-in-the-Dark Radio. Well, they've almost made their delivery successfully. Almost. Everything seemed to have been fine, but they've just been told to hold it right there, so we'll have to see what happens next on our next episode of Glow-in-the-Dark Radio. In book news, as I mentioned, the paperback of this book you're listening to, Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest, is back at Amazon.com. So if you are looking for it there, you can get the paperback there. It's also available at Lulu, and hopefully will start to be available at more places once again. It has been for years, but got a little bit of a hiccup in the system. Thank you, Lulu. But like I say, it at least now is back at Amazon and should be showing back up at other places soon. And a thank you to patrons for supporting the podcast and keeping things going. You guys are such a huge help. Thank you. And if you want to become a patron or you want to find out more about this, it is at patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio. And you can sign up for $2, $5, or $10 a month to help support the podcast. And that is all for this week. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma. Thank you again for listening to Glow in the Dark Radio. Glow in the Dark Radio. This podcast presentation is copyright 2025 by Michael F. Luoma and is protected under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 4.0 International License, CC by NC-ND 4.0. Music by Kevin MacLeod. You can find his work at Incompetech.com. Mike's books are available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook, wherever you find books online. Get links and more details at glowinthedarkradio.com and mikeluoma.com. This has been a presentation of Glow in the Dark Radio.